But anyway, enough of that fucking horseshit. We're moving on to UFC 166 because that's what you guys tuned in for. And we're going to start with a fight that is a flightweight. Why do I always say flightweight?
Jesus, what the hell did you just say?
I keep saying flightweight, man. I don't know. It's like I'm fucking half out of like I smoked a fat
I'm
blunt.
assuming you're getting ready to talk about the main card.
Yes.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and make a prediction. On the undercard, the very first fight of the night is George Stradalopoulos versus KJ Noons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if Lick-a-lot-of-puss knocks KJ Noons out, that'll be his last fight in the UFC.
You know what? I would have said this exact same thing. KJ Noons is just not.
KJ Noons is so underperforming. He's still riding that one fantastic fight he had in Strikeforce, and he has done a lot of nada since. Yeah,
I mean that he had against Nick Diaz back when I had a Jesus Christ starter jacket.
Now, here's the other one. Nate Marquardt is going up against Hector Lombard. If Lombard doesn't win this fight, is the love affair with him over?
I know. That, and it's something very interesting. And then Tim Boach going against CB Dalloway. These are all on the preliminary card. That's going to be on Fox Sports 1.
Sarah Kaufman fighting Jessica Don't Bust in My Eye.
The Dong probably would like that.
That's the nickname I'm giving her. Jessica Don't Bust.
Good. And not only that, the Facebook YouTube card, now it's YouTube has got into this shit.
Facebook YouTube card.
It is. It's a fucking Facebook YouTube card. I can't. You guys are watching us obviously on YouTube, but YouTube's like, we want to get on some of the action too with these fucking cards. They've got TJ Wahlberger versus Adiam Amagov, and then they've got a couple other people. They've got like 4 fights. But now, it's interesting.
This Kevin was saying in the ultra super flyweight class.
Flyweight. Mm-hmm.
You got John Dodson versus
Daryl Montag.
There you go.
I'm going to go right away with John Dodson, and you know what? I know all you people are going to be like, why? And I'm going to tell you why, because I don't know who the fuck Daryl Montag is. I don't, and you know what?
I haven't done my research. MMA fan.
And they can get on the Gilly machine because I'm admitting that. I'm telling you that. Let me ask you something, George. Are you a hardcore? Do you know who the fuck Daryl Montag is? And no offense to you, Daryl, because I think 80% of our viewers don't know who you are. But you know what? If you knock John Dodson out or fucking win this fight, then everybody's going to know who you are. But let
me break you down who Daryl Montag is.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, Daryl Montag has won 4 of his last 5 fights. He has won all over the world. He's fought in Tokyo. He's fought in California. He won his last submission by submission. He seems to be, as you would say, a well-rounded tactician. He's got 5 wins by knockout, 5 wins by submission, and 3 by decision. 13-2. And you know what? Fuck you and your couch. I'm going with Daryl.
If he wins, Daryl, if you're watching this video, you can do something. You got a chance. I'm telling you what, the guy you're going up against has more energy than a fucking supernova, because that guy, John Dodson, goes for days. He's a spaz. And like George says, I said, he is a well-rounded spaz. He's good. He can wrestle you. He has an engine that's fucking doesn't stop, and he's got good hands. So it's going to be a uphill battle, I feel, for this guy, Daryl.
Moving on to Mr. Montag for the win.
But George is going to go with you. I'm going to go with John Dodson. I'm going to pick it on the safe side. Now,
I'm going with Blanco on this next fight because I think he's going to beat Sean Jordan.
George, you always go with Gonzaga. I don't give a fuck if Gonzaga is fighting fucking Cain Velasquez. You just go with it so you can say Blanca. It's pretty your obsession with video games. You like his face. You like what he looks like.
I like because it's old school. It reminds me of old school Street Fighter. It reminds me when I was a little kid when I had no responsibilities. But last time he was in the ring, he knocked out Dave Pee Wee Herman. So I don't see how he can't. I don't see how he can't knock out fucking Sean Jordan.
He better try not to get knocked out. Sean Jordan, remember his last fight? Dude had some heavy fucking hands, man.
The last time that Bama fought was in June. He fought Pat Berry, and he cornholed that cat and got knocked out of the night. And before that, he TKO'd Mike Russo. But this is the same guy who lost a UD to Chech Congo.
Yeah, who did? Sean Jordan?
Yeah, Sean Jordan.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a unanimous decision, but it was earlier in his career, and because of that, I'm going to go with Sean Jordan. I think Gabriel Gonzaga.
Sean Jordan, I'm going with Gabriel Gonzaga. Now, this next fight, I think is going to be an absolute war. I cannot wait to see this fight. I think it's going to be a great, because you want to talk about 2 well-rounded fighters. I mean, these guys can finish this fight standing. They can finish it on the ground. They can finish it in the parking lot, in the locker room, at Taco Bell, El Camino Royale. They're going to be all over the place.
Yeah, they are, because Gilbert Melendez is going to go up against Diego Sanchez, and we both know neither one of those fucking guys are quitters. I mean, they're going to they'll try to kill each other. You know? So, yes. Yes. So that's going to be a fucking battle. With that being said, I think Gilbert Melendez will win this fight because he's just that good of a lightweight, and he's one of the best lightweights in the world. And I think he will just wear him down. I think Diego Sanchez is famous for taking punishment. I think it'll be like that again when he fights him. He's going to get a lot of punishment. Now, it'll take nothing away from the man's heart because he'll stay in there and take the punishment. But I think it's going to give him the L because I don't think he's going to be able to beat Melendez.
Well, and just to be difficult, I like Gilbert Melendez. I like him a lot more than I like Diego Sanchez. And
right.
Last time we saw Gilbert was back in April, and he lost a split decision to Benson Henderson. And before that, the man hadn't lost since 2009. Some people had him beating Benson Henderson. I mean, Benson Henderson's obviously fallen a little bit off of his perch, you could say. I think Gilbert's going to win this one. I really do. But I'm not going to be surprised if Diego grinds this out. Yeah. If Diego takes Gilbert down and Gilbert can't get up and get away, Diego's going to grind this thing out on the mat. It's going to look, I mean, it's going to be it could be a snooze fest, but I hope it's not. I hope they keep it standing and keep it striking.
Yeah, I think Gilbert Melendez is not going to let that happen, man. I think he's just going to fucking keep that range because he's lengthy, and I think he's just going to pepper the fuck out of him. He's going to cut him up. We know Diego Sanchez is a great fighter, but he bleeds like shit, and I think he's going to be bleeding after the first round. A lot of bleeding.
Yeah, and that leads us to our next match.
Take that to the bank. Oh, go ahead.
Which I know in this next match, I'm going to be interested to see who you pick. I know who you're going to pick to win, but I know you actually like the other fighter.
They're my two favorite fighters in the heavyweight division. I can honestly say that. I like both of them because they just don't. Well, you can't say you don't look like a fighter, but they don't. You know, they're kind of both of them a little heavy set. Their stature, they're shorter stature. They're not real big, massive, tall guys, 6'4", 6'5", and that's Daniel Cormier and Roy Nelson.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see what the scale tips in at because Roy Nelson has gone out and told Daniel Cormier the first one to 205 fights John Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the weigh-in and see what they both come in at. And to me, this will be more telling for Daniel Cormier and how serious he's taking this weight cut and how he's been talking cash shit and if he really wants to move to 205. If he really wants to move to 205, I'm guessing he should be on the scale 220, 225, 230. I mean, if he comes in at 250 or 260, then to me, he's not taking this move to 205 too serious.
Well, whatever the case, whatever the fuck these guys come in at, it is a interesting matchup, George, because you got two guys that are they both are incredible on the ground. You know, they both have a great history and background on the ground, whether it be jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling. They're just phenomenal on the ground. And both of them, surprisingly, for the way they build, have really fucking nasty hands and a lot of knockout power.
Powerful hands. Yeah.
Powerful hands. And so, I mean, I don't know. You know, I would definitely give it to DC because he has beat some of the people that Nelson obviously has not beat, and he is proven to be. You know, when Nelson has gone up against these guys, you know, that are worthy opponents, he's fell short. Whereas Daniel Cormier has got the job done, and he holds the title. You know,
put it this way,
held the title.
I honestly want Roy Nelson to win. And I just hope Daniel Cormier doesn't come out and do what he did against Frank Mir. Because if he's going to go up and press bellies and hold Roy Nelson against the cage for 15 minutes, it's going to be hard to convince Dana that you should get a title shot. Because Dana's not going to put that type of fighter in on a title shot right now because Dana is more about selling tickets and putting on an exciting fight. And if Daniel Cormier comes out and tries to just smother Roy Nelson against the cage, I don't give a shit what weight he cuts to. To me, it's going to be hard for him to sell himself as a title contender if that's the way he's going to win fights. I really I think that's going to be tough for him.
I mean, I like both of these guys. I can actually say that I probably like Roy Nelson a little bit more as a fighter. But
he's entertaining. He's a showman. He's entertaining. He puts on a show. He gets involved with the fans. DC's more business-like. He has a very business approach to this. He's a lot like John Jones. He wants to go out and he's going to find a way to win. Nothing wrong with that. When you are the champ, when you have the belt, it's all about finding a way to win. When you're trying to vie for the belt, you need to do it in an exciting fashion and get your name out there and get your style out there and go, hey, Dana, look at me. You have to give Dana a reason to select you. Smothering a guy on the mat or up against the cage, to me, I don't think Dana's going to go with that.
Yeah, you're right. And now this is the thing, and this is what I was getting at, is because of what you said, I like Roy Nelson better. I'm more of a fan of Roy Nelson, and DC is a close second, a very close second. I hate to say this, but if I want the outcome to be DC to beat Roy Nelson and beat him easily, because I feel like if Roy Nelson wins, he's not going to get a shot because he's had shots and he falls short. If DC barely beats Roy Nelson, it's not, like you said, it's not going to be impressive enough. So you're not going to see any mix up in the heavyweight class. And I'd like to see at least DC get a shot so there's some new blood up there, there's some mix up. And I want to see eventually, if he's not going to go to 205, I want to see them force him to fight his training partner, Cain Velasquez.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
If Velasquez can get past JDS again, which will roll right into that fight.
Right. Now, with that said, Cain Velasquez has got to come out of this fight still holding the belt. Because if he doesn't, put it this way, let's say DC knocks Roy Nelson clean the fuck out at any point during this fight, and Cain Velasquez drops the belt, I think that automatically catapults Daniel Cormier right to a title fight.
Oh, it does. Absolutely. It does. And now if DC knocks out Roy Nelson and then Velasquez beats JDS, I think what you're going to see is, I think under any circumstances, if Daniel Cormier wins the fight, he doesn't even have to, if he wins the fight and JDS wins the fight, then I think Daniel Cormier gets the next shot at JDS. I think that happens no matter what. I think now if Cain Velasquez wins the fight and DC wins the fight, then you could see them trying to talk about shit and shit getting dilly-dallied, and possible DC saying, okay, fuck it, I'm dropping to 205, Dana. Will you give me the first crack at John Jones if I can make the weight? I think that's how that'll play out. But we'll talk about, who do you have? I got DC winning the fight. I think he's going to win the fight.
I think Daniel Cormier is a more well-rounded fighter. I think he's going to win, but I don't want him to win. If I was betting, I'd put my money on DC, just because I think he's strong enough and crafty enough to hold Roy Nelson up against the cage. And I think that's his best shot at winning, because I think Roy Nelson is a little craftier, creating openings for himself, like we saw against Chech. Like he feinted one way to see what would happen, he reacted and then knocked the dude completely the fuck out.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, but with that said, I think DC is going to win that fight. And then now on to this. This is the reason we're all paying for this. Let me rephrase this. This is the reason I'm going to Kevin's house and he's paying for the fight.
You know what? To be honest with you, George, I'm more excited about the Melendez and Cormier fight than this. I think Cain Velasquez is going to get the job done again. The first fight, he was not 100%. The second fight, he did it easily. And I think the third fight, he's going to beat him again. This fight. And that's it. I don't have anything else to say about it.
What the results are from this, as long as it's the last time we have to watch these two assholes fight each other. And I don't mean assholes in the sense of being an asshole. I mean an asshole in the sense that I'm tired of seeing these automatic rematches. I fight you 3 times. Let's
swing matches.
That. Yeah. Just stop it. You get one crack at the title. Then it's the next guy's turn and the next guy's turn. And in the meantime, you work your way back up into title contention. You go beat someone else. I hate this automatic, unless you're the champ. If you're the champ and you lose the belt, then I get it. You get an automatic rematch, blah, blah, blah. Even that kind of fucking irks me a little bit. I think you should have to go back into the pool and earn your title shot again.
Well, I agree with you. The one thing I do like is this week it came out that Dana White is actually saying, okay, if you hold a belt, if you're injured or whatever, there's a time limit now. With the whole thing with like Dominic Cruz and stuff, there's a time limit now where guys are like, okay, if you can't get back and defend your belt, or like with GSP, you're having the belt and you're not fighting, or for it's a prolonged period, there's going to be a time frame, and now the UFC has put in place that you have to do this. If you can't, then you forfeit the belt. And George and I touched on this probably about 6 weeks ago, and I was really adamant about it. I thought it was fucked up how they did it. And as much as I like Dominic Cruz, I just didn't feel like he deserved the belt anymore, because fucking dude, Renan Barao is fucking phenomenal, and I feel like he's getting fucking shortcutted on us. Anyway, I got Cain Velasquez by TKO in the third.
I do too, but here, big news or little big news, or depending on how you see it, the rumor is right now that this next fight could be GSP's last fight.
That's great. I mean, that's great. I mean, if I was GSP, I'd stop.
Tells me? That tells me when he got that check from doing Avengers and he looked at it compared to what he's getting paid to get fucking beat up and train like he's doing, there might be other offers on the table.
Yeah.
He might have had a screen test that he was able to send away to other directors, and they'll go, we'll put you in this, we'll put you in that, we'll put you in this. And he's doing just like Gina Carano and going, Dude, that movie money is a lot better than this get punched in the face, cut weight, and now he can take all the drugs if he wants to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could do what the fuck he wants to, train. He goes out as a champion if he beats Johnny Hendricks. But the bottom line is people want a champion like they did with Bruce Lee, like they did with Chuck Norris. These guys ended their careers in, martial arts or whatever they were doing, and they got film careers, and they could take it and go on and on and on. You even see it with, Kung Lee. He's in a lot of movies. He's in that crazy movie with dude from the Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, you see these guys have a decent career. And like you said, they don't have to train around the clock, get beat the fuck up, be injured, worry about keeping their fucking status and their reputation, because there's always somebody coming up that's hungrier than you are because you're burnt out from the fucking game, that's trying to take your fucking head off. So I think GSP's doing the smart route. If I was him, I'd fucking retire. I mean,
because I'm gonna tell you right now, that first movie role he's gonna have is bigger than any other. It's bigger than the A-Team and Rampage. It's bigger than any movie Gina Carano's been in.
Oh, it's fucking huge. It's bigger than any mixed martial movie. I mean, the only person that's been comparable, I'd have to say, would be KOTOR in the fucking Expendables movies. I mean, it's.
I was about to say, don't you fucking dare say that goddamn Return of the Scorpion Mummy King. That shit was stank.
Return of the Scorpion. No, but the Expendables, the parts he had in the Expendables. But I mean, you're talking about a Marvel Comics movie. You know it's going to be a blockbuster. You know it's going to do, $300, $400, $500 million at the box office, and he's going to be in front. And he's a villain, so he probably has a chance to come back and having a recurring role if he doesn't get killed off. Anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts. George, you got Velasquez too, or you got JDS?
I got Cain. I don't see JDS pulling this one off.
All right, let us know your thoughts and comments below.